How do you think Brodie Croft looked today?
Thought he looked like Brodie Croft, but in a better coloured jersey.
Leeds Rhinos, champions of the world.
Leeds have won back-to-back rugby league titles. The golden generation finally has its golden fleece.
We just want to be a great friend, and if we can all try and be a bit of a better friend from time to time, I think we have a bit of a better place to live in.
It is a classic winger's try. No England game, it seems, is complete without a Ryan Hall try.
Kevin Sinfield.
Rob Burrow.
Danny McLean! He is the first man to score in 3 different grand finals. Jamie Jones Buchanan for Leeds. It's one of the most popular beards in rugby league now.
Jamie Peacock is claiming a try.
The Lot Pod. The Lot Pod.
And it's going to be another cup final try for Tom Briscoe. Ash handling down this left-hand side. This is a sensational try. There aren't many in Super League that can do that.
I've been very lucky to be involved in a special group of players throughout my career, and this is the fairy tale ending.
Recording from the ACD&B studio, this is the Lot Pod, brought to you by Fast Signs. Fast Signs are an established family-run business who have been providing businesses around Leeds and West Yorkshire with effective signs and graphics for almost 30 years. Fast Signs are passionate about helping customers make a statement with signs that are eye-catching, effective, and delivered fast. This is the Lot Pod, the Leeds Rhinos Lot 17-8 podcast. We are in our studio, brand new for the new 2024 season. This is the Salford Match Review panel. Joining me as always, my right-hand man, my co-host, our amazing stats man. Statman Reese.
I'm a stat man.
Freeze.
Now then, how are you?
I'm good. How about that new intro?
Fantastic, isn't it? We've got a lot. We've got someone to thank for that, but it was
Who?
Oh, it's Josh, our friend Josh, regular Josh.
Good old Josh.
He's got his band Kimber. Always make sure you check them out. But no, really great intro. But I love the start of it. Rowan's comment about just Brodie Croft, but in better colours. I think it's the perfect
2024
saltiness start, considering the attitude from the Salford fans on Friday, especially on Twitter, about how apparently he's crying and he's not happy to be here. He looked pretty fine to me in the behind the game.
Josh accepted the mission and just absolutely smashed with that intro. That is the extended, longer version that Josh did. He did so much work. We thought, right, we'll have the extended version for the first pod and we'll kind of chop it up for the season ahead. Who's with us tonight?
A man that's after my own heart, someone else that shares the love for stats. He does it for Leeds United, he does it for Leeds Rhinos. It's our mate. Well, we call him Stats. Everyone else might know him as Andy or Andrew. Andrew, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not bad at all. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, thanks for
coming on.
I'm
very honoured to be the first part of the new season. So, yes, very honoured and very happy to be here this evening.
First guest, we're in the studio. Andrew's dialing in. We're excited for this new season in the studio. We'll start in true Lot Pod fashion, Andrew, with the positives. What positives can us as Rhinos fans take from this one?
I think listening to Ash Hanley's post-match interview with Sky on Friday night, he mentioned the word culture a lot, and it just feels a little bit different. Not only does the competition feel different with a lot of what IMG have done, I'll come to that a bit later, but what's happening at the Rhinos at the moment just feels a little bit different. This time last year, we came off the back of an absolute hiding away at Warrington in the first game of the season, and it was doom and gloom and heads on the floor. This time round, we came from an early try down and we didn't lead until Sambo went over late on. And it just feels a real positivity. The signings have been brilliant. The likes of Croft, Ackers, Momorowski, Lockley Miller have come in. And there's some real good signs. Look, it's very early on in the season. It will take time, but to come out with a victory on the opening day since 2018, the first one, it is very impressive, and long may it continue.
Reese, do you agree with that in terms of positives?
I do. I think the positive is the Super League's back.
It's back.
It's back. It's round one. A win in round one. We probably didn't want to. We didn't play with much combination or flair as I thought we might have done, or I was hoping for. But we had to grind out a win against a Salford team that went out and proved a lot of people wrong that thought they'd get rolled over. Salford had a great game. But I think my main positive is Super League is back. But from an individual perspective, we've already got the try of the season potentially in Ash Hanley. It was an unbelievable try, and being at that end of the south stand towards the end, the poetic justice of going round Nene at the final bit, the shouts that were going towards Nene at that point from me and from other people around us.
All very polite.
Very polite, yeah. Nothing like F you, Nene, nothing like that. Apparently.
No, we don't do that.
But it was an absolute peach of a try, and hopefully a bit of a sign of what we're going to see going forward.
I think so. I thought the crowd was positive.
Yeah, it felt more than 15,000.
I think it felt less.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was rammed in the south stand.
Looking around from where I was, I thought, slightly inflated. Did you see it differently then?
The way I was stood in the south stand was packed. Like they were having to stop people, again standing in the aisles and stuff and behind things in the yellow bits. But it was really, really busy, I thought, and there wasn't much room around. So
maybe that was just me then.
Yeah, I nearly didn't get my spot because I was a bit late into the stand. I thought, God, I'll have to start coming in earlier.
I wonder why. I thought Lasoni was a positive.
Absolutely.
I thought Ash Hanley, obviously, and Lackey Miller as well. Just on Lackey Miller, Andrew, what did you make of him in his first Super League start for the Rhinos?
I think he's going to take time to adjust, but I thought he was influential in the try for Ash, the second try that he touched down in the corner. And he's coming from a different country, into a completely different culture. We went through how many fullbacks over the last few years, like Jack Walker. Richie Mann's actually gone to York as well. So, very pleasing. I thought all six debutants held their hands up, and all goes well for the trip to Silkhaven Park on Thursday evening.
He seemed to be the most threatening and the most of all the new signings. Do you agree with that, Reece?
He did. I love his ability just to almost just stand still and just no one approach him and stand off the fence. But he's got great footwork, and I think the moment where he started to come to life was in the second half. I think he took one of the deep kicks from Sneed, and he beat about 3 people, and he made about 30 yards or meters, whatever you use these days. And that put us on the front foot on that set quite quickly. And I think after that moment, he kind of sparked into life in the second half. There was a stat, someone that sent me that in the first half...
Someone sent in you stats?
Yeah, someone sent me stats, yeah.
Was it Andrew?
No, it wasn't. It was Rugby League.
It wasn't me, not on this occasion.
Rugby League Analytics, he's a Leeds fan. But at half-time, we'd only made 1 metres in kick returns at half-time. And we actually ended up with 45 by the end of the game. So it shows in the first half, Sneed was kicking us all over the place, and we weren't pressurising him when we're giving him that time. But in the second half, either we're pressuring him or we had more space, and Lackey had figured it out a bit. And he first half was a bit quiet, but second half, I think we saw more of what we were expecting from him. And
second half Rhinos.
People keep talking about his defence. I didn't really see anything to be worried about.
I didn't. Perhaps that might come to fruition against better sides.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Salford ever really broke through it from deep, did they? So I'm not sure he was really tested from that perspective. But no, like I said, I think in the second half, we saw more of what I was hoping to see from him.
Reece touched on that Ash Hanley try, that amazing Ash Hanley try. Andrew, what did you make of that? A try from the backfield, and he just put the turbos on and absolutely just.
It was very reminiscent of a certain Martin O'Fire at Wembley Stadium on
What did
April
he
5th,
run round Alan Tate?
1994, when he cut inside Alan Tate. We mentioned, I think, on the pod when we interviewed Tate in the off-season, and he cut in and out, and he took on Nenny. I actually say I thought Nenny had a very good game, actually, on Friday evening.
Scratch that.
We'll edit that out.
I've got to be nice.
By the way, producer Chris is here. Yeah, by the way, producer Chris is here, everyone.
But, yeah, I thought brilliant. And the way they threw the ball around on the way to Ash Hanley, cut inside, in and out, and it just got Leeds back in the game. And I never felt worried at all in the game. But yeah, wonderful try, and it set Headingley alight on Friday evening. And we've probably got an early chart of the season contender in round one.
It was just I think we were saying, Chris, before we came on, producer Chris, and I'm just looking at him, even though he's not meant to be speaking. But anyway.
Take my mic away then.
Yeah, well, it's your studio. We can't take your own mic off you. Previous years, or I think even he said he'd have just gone for it and just sprinted. But he said in this new thing they've done, I don't know if you've seen it, the Rhinos recall or whatever what it was, where they're watching footage from the game.
Absolutely brilliant.
When him and Newman was saying we've been working on this stop and starting, and you could see him do it about 3 times, particularly when he goes round Nene. It was just brilliant, and I think we all knew that Ash has that in him, but it was great to see it. It was an absolute great moment for the crowd, and even better, what I've really enjoyed is that's been on BBC Sport now on all their main socials for the game. That's the sort of tries you want advertising.
I think he's always had it in him, but the difference with that is the confidence. Yeah. He knew exactly what he were going to do, and he did it 2 or 3 times, didn't he? Classic wingers try. Bit like Scotty Donald, standing up Paul Wellens.
Yeah.
Oh, the grand final of 07. Oh, what a try.
But you have to, the players also have to have the confidence to throw 2 or 3 deep passes in their own 10-metre line to do that.
I absolutely love
it. And
I
love the audacity of it. And
I don't care if they knock on.
Yeah, it nearly happened again later on, didn't it?
It did, but Lockie Miller's pass was on the money.
Yeah.
It seems a simple thing to do, doesn't it? But if you're in your own half, that pass has got to be
dialed in,
Yeah. Perfectly timed. It was a great try. And I thought, unfortunately, Ash has set the bar now. So he's got.
Eddie will think he's going to score 30 like that.
35. Quite unique, though. Probably potentially a question for Andrew. That is probably going to be our try of the year, and it's the first try we scored of the year. Has that ever happened, Andrew?
Oh, crikey, not in mine.
Have we ever? The first try we've scored of the season.
I'm just trying to rack my brains over
I don't think it has. I mean, are we going to score a better try? I know it's very early.
I think there might be better team tries. But as a bit of individual brilliance, I don't think we'll see. And there is players that could do something similar and do something different, but I think individually wise, it'll take some beating.
Yeah, and it set the bar, as Reece said there, doesn't it, for the season ahead, and how you beat that, I don't know, but we will score some lovely team tries, I'm absolutely certain, but to go the length of the field on day one is something special, and I'm sure it's something that'll live with Ash forever.
What made it even better is, as been mentioned, is when he beat pretty much all the field and the last man wasn't in it. It was just poetic. It just squared him up, looked him dead in the eye, and just said, "No, mate, you've no chance. You're not getting anywhere near me." And even Nene took about 4 steps and thought, "I'm not catching this."
I think Nene knew. I'm sorry, he was a teammate with him long enough. He knew that.
He squared him up, like Chris said, and just took him in, and then just out I go.
He must be bloody fit, Moustache, because a lot of people score them tries, don't they?
And they're done.
And then,
but he seemed to.
They were fine.
He seemed to speed up.
Yeah.
Like the further he went.
Yeah.
Like the more his legs were pumping, the faster he got, rather than getting knackered, getting to halfway line, like Chris said, and then kind of gassing. He seemed to look at Nene and go, "Nah,
you're not having it."
Put the nitro on.
Every time he did something a little bit different, though, the crowd got a little bit louder.
Yeah.
It was like every moment was like, "Oh, go on! Oh, go on!" Like, go on!
And then the second they saw it with Nene, they were like, "You've got to be, you've got to score."
Moments like that just make the noise in Headingley so great. Like,
and
it's brilliant.
Taylor Swift enjoyed it.
Yeah, that Oxen deserve a massive bow for that. If you've not seen it, go check out Oxen's Twitter page because they've dubbed in Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl celebrating.
She weren't there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, did you not see her on the? Yeah, apart from she was doing.
What do you mean the Super Bowl dubbed in?
She was sat next to me in East End.
You witch.
She does some miles, doesn't she? Because she was in Melbourne last night.
The next section Lovely kick from Chris Martin for Ash's second
Chris
try.
Martin,
Chris Martin. What are you doing on there?
Chris Martin.
Did I say Chris Martin?
You said Chris Martin.
I thought I said from Martin.
Eddie, I know we can edit stuff, but I'm leaving that in.
That's staying
Leave
in.
that in. Chris Martin is a good all-rounder.
Scientist.
Bit yellow though, isn't it?
Bit yellow. There we go.
Bench of a
For
lifetime.
Ash's second try on his birthday. But what I took away from that was Paul Momorowski could have scored that. Did you see that? And he pulled himself away and let Ash come in.
But Paul looked a bit off balance actually, and I did wonder whether he thought that actually I'm not in the best.
I saw it as
position
an
to do
assist. I thought,
Yeah, well,
he's giving
Ash
it to
says
his,
doesn't he?
Yeah?
Ash is like Paul drops out, and to be fair,
He's
it's
giving
a
it to
skill
his winger.
catch a dropping ball and put it on the ground like Ash did, and he was so close to the touchline as well. So it was another great finish, and you'd probably say it'd be a really good try, but when he scored the one earlier that he's done, it's just it's just another try for Ash. But it was a really good kick from Reece.
He had a lot of awareness, Ash, didn't he, Andrew, to finish that one.
Yeah, and obviously I think it was the brave from Lockie Miller, wasn't it, that kind of set us up upfield, and a lovely little kick from Reece Martin through, and Ash being alert on the Chris Martin alert on the corner, and as I said, I think Momorowski did really well just to drop back then and allow Ash Hanley the opportunity to touch down the corner, and it got Leeds back level, and just set Headingley a light after that, because after that try, I thought there was only one team that was going on to win the game, and obviously Big Sambo came up with a good late on for Leeds.
Yeah, he played well. Have you got some stats for us, Statman Reece?
Stat corner. That's what we need, don't we?
Another jingle, Josh. Jingle, Josh.
We have some new stats.
Wow.
So, for those that don't know, I use the Super League Match Centre for this. It's all available, but don't steal my job, please. But we have live stats during the game now. So there's actually live team stats you can check out. The player stats are available straight away as well after the game, which is quite good.
Wow.
Pretty much
sometimes we'd record and you...
Like days later, and I'm like, I haven't got anything. But yeah, so the first new stat that I sort of want to go through is set completion rate, something I really, really like to see.
That is...
we had a set completion rate of 87%.
87%?
Yeah. In the first half, apparently, that was really low, but I haven't seen what the stat was for that. But so I need to start screenshotting at half time. That was the second highest of the round so far in terms of teams. Hull KR got 87% as well. But I think Wigan and Cass got 90%. But yeah, we got 87% completion, so it's one of the best of the weekend. We've now got post-contact meters as well.
Is this something you mentioned last year you wanted?
Yeah, well, no, everyone else wants it. Everyone bugs me and asks me, what's the post-contact meters?
People asking you for it.
Yeah, and I'm like, they just don't do it. But it's not individually, but it is for the team.
It's a start.
So Rhinos had 545 post-contact meters, which before Saturday's games was the third lowest of the round. Salford only had the 484 for that one. We've also got a stat to track kick return meters, which I find quite interesting because we always expect wingers to have a lot over 100 meters most games because they do a lot of running from deep and stuff. So it's interesting to have this almost separated out. But Rhinos had 45 meters and Salford had 26. And again, before Saturday's games, they were both the lowest of the round. And then we also had another really interesting stat, which is plays of the ball in the opposition 20 meters. Right. So it's quite a territory stat. It shows that who's been in that red zone, end zone area.
32.
37 from Rhinos. And at the time, again, it was the most, with the next closest being 30, but I imagine some of the teams might have sneaked in there. So there are some new stats that I'm going to go through this year for that one. But then onto the usual stuff in terms of individual. It probably shouldn't have come as a surprise at who topped the meter chart for Leeds.
Ash Hanley.
Yeah, well done. 173.
That's Nene McDonald numbers, that.
142 for Nene.
Yeah.
Aledzki, 115. Cami, 95. Newman, 90. Miller, 88. Lasoni only had 53 metres.
Really? Felt like it.
Yeah. Him and Sangare had 53 and 52.
Yeah, Andrew.
I think the Salford, I was just quickly looking to Salford, their props, I think they made most and more of their props, I think. So Ollie Parkinson was 27. Jack Ormonrod, 42. Where's our old mate Singo? 53. Yeah. So actually, when you look at the stats up the middle, we thought we were weaker, but actually our props made more metres than all the Salford's props.
I think that Lasoni, as in the stats for Lasoni, kind of says stats don't tell.
No,
they don't really tell the game, do they?
No, not at all. But they make
the impact. You know?
Yeah, but they make up the top 5 for metres, and then tackle busts. Miller, Lackey. Have we decided if it's Lackey or Lockie or Lachlan?
I'm a Lackey.
Lucky.
I'm a
I think
Lackey.
it's lucky. That's what
Australians
that's what Matt
will
Wilson
say
told
Lockie.
me, lucky.
Andy, are you saying it's Lockie?
Yes.
That's how Australians would say
Right,
it.
Lockie.
I'm a Lackey.
We've met him and we should probably really know.
Say Lachlan. Or would you say Lachlan?
Lachlan just feels too formal, really. You know, his mates are
He does, doesn't he?
He's friends of the pod. You know, we use casual names.
Just
as
Miller.
friends for the pod.
Miller.
Give him a buzz.
Miller, yeah.
Miller time.
Anyway, Miller led the way with tackle bus for 8. Aledzki had 6 and Lasone had 4. And then on the tackle front, who topped the charts?
Cammy.
Always Cammy. But he had someone up there with him with the same amount of tackles as 34. Who do you think was up there?
Bentley.
Andy, any guesses? Tackle numbers? Who would be?
Don't know.
No, Andy Ackers.
Ackers.
Yeah,
Right.
both with 34. And Gudemond sneaked into the top 3 with 30. In terms of missed tackles, Smith and Ackers both had missed the most with 4 each.
Suppose if you're doing the most tackling,
You're bound to do it. So
Yeah.
I do
you're
track.
going to be prone to the odd.
Yeah, I track
miss.
percentage of tackles missed
Of course you do.
as well. Of course I do. And that sometimes gives a bit of a better figure because, like, if you're making more tackles, you are going to miss a bit more. Martin and Momorowski missed 3 each, and then errors-wise, Newman led the way with 3. I don't really remember Newman making that many errors.
No, I don't.
He made one right at the beginning. It wasn't his fault, to be fair. He got a really bad ball and he dropped
Oh, he
it.
did.
Oh, he did.
On far
yeah.
side from us to
Yeah,
He
north
did,
side.
yeah.
I can't remember who
Yeah.
passed it, but he gave him daggers. Like,
What it Croft?
It was Croft or
Was
Frawley,
it?
I think.
I think it was Croft.
Pass that to me, Ed.
Croft.
Yeah, it was Croft.
Croft.
Yeah.
And then Momorowski and Roberts had 2 errors as well. Obviously, Roberts' errors are quite well known. But this week in my tweets, I've done it. We are going to do player of the match later, but I did an award for stats player of the match.
Stats player of the match.
So who looks best on the stats?
All right.
How
How many man of the match awards are we giving?
Oh, we'll just give them all out. They're all friends of the pod now.
They
so
can all
it's
be.
fine.
They can all be sponsored.
Yeah.
There are more sponsorships.
There's more sponsorships available. Please contact us at lot17a at outlook.com.
So we're all going to have a guess.
Have a guess. Go on. Stats wise, who do you think?
How does it work?
Basically, who I think has got the, has
Oh,
had
so
the
it's
best
just
stats.
your opinion.
It's just my
It's-
opinion.
it's
yeah.
not-
It's my Chris. It's my
Not
section.
factual.
Yeah, it's my section.
No, I'm just establishing the rules.
Yeah.
I know. He's just thrown this on us.
Yeah. Well, if you'd read my tweet, you'd have seen it. But it's who I. Basically, it's just a case of who I think looks the best just from the stats perspective because we know it only tells part of the story. So I've just said I basically picked someone that I think
Cam
did
Smith.
best stats. Cam Smith is a shout. Andy,
Chris,
who do you
Andy.
think?
I'm going to go Ash Hadley because I was going to go Cam Smith originally.
All right,
Lockie Miller.
Mikolaj Aledzki.
Really?
Tell you
Big
why.
bit.
I'll tell you why. 15 carries, 115 metres, 7.7 metres per carry, 6 tackle busts, 18 tackles, no errors, no penalties.
How many carries did you say?
15. So that, for me,
He was
considering
im-
also
he
he
was
had the
immense.
HIA as well,
He was immense.
Yeah, it was.
considering the HIA scare as well, that felt like a 2022 Mick to me.
I'm just writing that down.
Yeah.
Is
So
that,
that's why I've chosen him for that.
is that Andy Moore 2022 beast mode, Mikolecki?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think he struggled a bit. I think the whole squad struggled a bit last year with the start to the season we had, and it just never really kicked into gear. We never had the same squad out we never had the same halfbacks out for one reason or another, and I think that just took its toll. And I think this time, Alexis come back. He's come back looking fit. He's come back looking fresh, and it just looks different. But the whole squad looks completely different, and the whole culture looks completely different at Headingley this season. And yeah, it's probably the Alexis that we loved in 2022.
My heart did sink,
He looked nasty.
and it did go in my mouth
It did,
when he
yeah.
got that. When he kind of fell on his
It killed
on
the
his
crowd.
neck, Reese. I thought
It killed the crowd.
that was his year.
Yeah.
Did you feel the same?
It was funny that I was about to say it's funny in that we had all the pressure then, and and you could feel the crowd, the energy was coming. We thought a try was coming, and that injury happened. You saw it happen on the screen, and the whole crowd just went.
Crowd just.
And when they saw him rolling over on the back of his neck, you could hear him going, that take a breath and stuff like. And I was going, that could be done. I was so surprised that he passes HIA. And then, to be honest, he came out. I think he started in the second half, didn't he? And he took one of the first carries. Like, oh no, he's fine.
It's fine.
He's fine. But yeah, I think it's definitely more.
I thought that was his year.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you both a question on the HIA? What actually happens in an HIA? Do we ever know that?
Yeah. So the previous at the start of the season, they, so as far as I'm aware, I think it's more what they do in Union. So I'm assuming it's similar in league. They ask them all like a series of questions and stuff that they do, and then they have to sort of like get asked those questions, and their answers kind of dictate as well in terms of that from that perspective. But they get asked the usual, do you know where you are?
It's all general knowledge
yeah.
questions, it's not like Mastermind. You can't choose a certain subject where you know the answers. So, if you're a genius on American Civil War, they won't ask you about that.
But I think
they won't ask you that.
Bit of geography, bit of sport, bit of film.
I think they also ask you, do you know where you are? Do you know who's playing? Do you know who you're playing? Do you know what the score is? Do you know what's happened? They'll do that. And they'll look at the eye. They'll do the eyes as well, just to see if there's any contact there as well.
They got you.
Yeah. I mean, this is entirely not a medical professional opinion, so this might be complete bullshit.
It did sound quite medical.
It sounds good.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
And on that,
If it isn't that, it should be.
Yeah. You shouldn't have said that. Everybody listening to that then was nodding along, going, "Oh wow, yes, that's true."
I only know because I got concussed loads when I played rugby. That's why I stopped.
That's accurate.
Do we know if Mikey Lewis passed his concussion on Friday night or Thursday night?
That's the preview. That's the next episode, Andy. Don't worry about that.
Good lad.
We'll come to that. When Jared did come on, I did feel that he changed the game. I felt he added more speed, a bit more urgency. He passed it to Cam, who passed it to Lasoni, who smashed over. What did you think of Jared's performance, Andrew?
Yeah, well, we know what Jared's all about, don't we? He's quick off the mark, he's quick at half back, and it just adds that little bit of impetus and a bit of extra energy around the place. And I thought I had a fine debut, and I welcome to his score a bit later on in the pod. But I think it just lifted the crowd a little bit with Jared. We saw it was about in 2022 and 2023. I think he's got a challenge in front of him now, Andy Ackers, hasn't he? Because he's not really had that. Obviously, with what happened with Cruz Leeming last year, going off to Australia. Obviously, not carrying work time, come back to Wigan. But really impressed with Jared, and probably just what the team needed at that particular time of the game.
Friend of the pod played well. Yes. Reece, do you agree with that?
He did. Shall I do my usual name drop?
Yeah.
I was messaging him on Thursday night.
Hang on, were you messaging him?
Definitely.
We were having a conversation. I messaged
Reece
him.
Always
we had a conversation.
I know you can't see me, but he's looking at his phone going,
for God's sake.
Not at all.
He's messaged me again, love.
Yeah.
Just block him.
I can never imagine.
Just bloody block him.
I can never imagine Jared saying love. It just doesn't sound like something he'd say.
Why don't you ask him?
I don't know. I will do.
Text him now.
Yeah, but he was saying he was like on Thursday night, like he was so excited, like a kid before Christmas, he couldn't get in the game. But that made, the impact he made was just the energy that he brought on just for the last 15 minutes, and he just to help everyone else rise to his level almost, and not to let us faint down. I thought his distribution from nine's looking better actually. His passing.
Did he only play 15 minutes?
15, 20, I want to say.
Yeah, was 15, 20.
Yeah, but I thought the energy he brought was
I agree.
Helped us finish the game off the way we did it, and I think his distribution was better from 9.
You can tell he's been learning under Ackers.
Yeah.
His distribution was really good. I were a bit shocked because it were always okay, but it looked crisp, didn't it?
Yeah,
fast,
zipped.
And I think he was he was part of the move. There was a lovely move that I think he started off as well, where the ball went inside to Lasone, and then it went back out to Numa, but Nene got the interception. It was nearly a walk-in try, but again, that came from Jared's play from dummy half. So now I think for if you can call it a cameo, 15 minutes, it plays a bigger part than I think sometimes you'd realise.
Do you think this is his role now, Andrew? This kind of 15, 20 minutes off the back of Ackers, giving him a breather?
Yeah, with the signing of Andy Ackers, who's coming from Salford with Brodie, I think you'll probably see more of Jared probably come off the bench. Obviously, I think Corey Johnson's gone out on loan to Bradford by the sounds of it. So, but it's great to have these options and to have possibly 2 players in each position. And what Jared does do is gives a bit of extra impetus, gives a bit of extra energy. And if we do need that bit around the ruck area or a bit of dummy half, I think he's the man to do it. And it's great to have those options to come off the bench as well.
He can play 13 as well.
Yeah.
He can.
So, he fills that utility forward spot, to play 9 or 13. And, when we spoke to Rob Oates, he was saying that how Jared took the news of Ackers coming was, he was very complimentary of it. It will only help Jared, and it is a shame that he won't get as much game time as he did have. But I also think that he will learn and develop more this year still.
Who did play 13 when Cammy went off?
Gudemond, wasn't it?
I think Gudemond did, yeah.
Yeah, Gudemond.
He wasn't off long, but
he did go off.
He did go off for 10 minutes, I think.
Right.
But Jared came on like kind of halfway through when Cam was already off the pitch. So not entirely sure, to be honest.
So it was Jared to Cam to Lasoni, who smashed over pretty much for the winner. I thought Lasoni was awesome.
Brilliant. He's not trained for 2 weeks.
No, I thought it was absolutely awesome. What did you make of his performance, Andrew?
Brilliant. To say he got the go-ahead from the doctor on Monday to play, and he'd literally had any pre-season, if any. He just looked like a battering ram, didn't he? And as the famous song goes, he's the best on earth, and it lifted the whole place, and it gave Leeds something to cling on to towards the back end of the game, and brilliant try, and it got Leeds in front for the first time on the evening, and just what the doctor ordered, and just a start for the season that Leeds wanted.
We talked about Aledzki, Reese, and like when he went down, and we were all petrified because it looked really bad. I think now Lasoni is as key to this squad as Mick when he's in this form, when he's in the form he was at the back end of last year. Because I think we all agree, a lot of Leeds fans say we are one short at prop. Do you agree that this version of Lasoni is absolutely vital to this squad?
I think so. And I think that impact prop role.
Yeah.
It's so exciting as a fan because when he comes on the pitch that everyone gets really excited, and and he I think that, as Andy was saying, that helps on the team as well because that he's lifted. But his first carry, I think he must have broken 2 tackles and he went forward about 10-15 metres. And it's like, great. That impact role, I don't really want to see him start. He should always be coming on 25 minutes into the game to rest Holroyd or Ledsky, and for him just to come make that impact. And he's really quick. Does he that quick, or does he just look that quick? But
he looks that quick. I thought that when he scored the try on Friday night.
There was the one where he came back across the field, wasn't he? After he got the ball, stood still, and he came. And it looked. I thought, God, he looked really quick. And I've watched it back. It took him ages to get even further across the line, but he just looks really quick. But I think that impact prop, that crowd lifter, the team lifter, that role that he plays now is massiid.
I agree.
And I don't think can be understated the impact that a player that can bring.
Did you hear Rowan after the game? He said this isn't verbatim, but he said something like, for dudes like Lasoni, pre-season's overrated.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool.
But he doesn't need a pre-season; he just needs to turn up and go crash bang.
Yeah, I think I got from that he doesn't like training.
Yeah,
If that's how he can play
like that, who cares?
And he finished his try really well. Like the spin to come round and get the ball under the post. It was a great line from Cammy anyway, holding the ball in 2 hands, making the defenders decide what to do, and a perfect short ball to Lasoni.
And as a fan, there's nothing better to see players that enjoy playing.
Yeah.
They play with a smile on their face.
And enjoy scoring. And he does.
Fans feed off that, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think Lasoni coming on, like Reece said, it lifts the crowd. I think it lifts the Rhinos. But I think the opposition players now are starting to think, shit, this guy's here. He's a threat. He scores. He's a monster.
He's got a good pass on him as well.
It seems... Got good hands, but it changes the focus. Like you say, if they're coming on going, right, Lasoni's on, we need to make sure we're doubling up on him all 3 times.
You're going to have to get 3 on him.
Which then opens up opportunities elsewhere if he's drawing in focus. I mean,
pulls off an offload.
Something that Sangare does is not, I don't think Sangare's been playing the best he can do at the moment, but even then when he runs in the ball, he still tracks 3 players, and it's exactly the same with Lasoni. Like if he's attracting people in that way and getting more attention, it's opening up more opportunities for Ackers at 9 and Croft and Frawley. But yeah, that will be if he can keep that form coming off the bench, it'll play a massive role this year.
You mentioned Croft there. We've not spoke of him at all. What did you make of Brodie Croft's first Super League start, Andrew?
I thought it was quiet, to be honest. I think it's going to take time, isn't it, to link up with Frawley. And I think for Salford, it was probably the perfect opposition because I know Croft's game inside out. And I'm guessing Paul Rowley would have said, target Brodie Croft, make sure he has a quiet game, which I thought he did. But it will come good. He's a big money signing, and I'm absolutely certain come the end of the season, he'll put a lot of bums on seats. But I just think Salford had him a bit wrapped up as the newest game inside out, unfortunately. But not to worry too much on him. But yeah, just a bit of a quiet debut for Brodie Croft for me.
They certainly targeted his head, didn't he? Ryan Brearley
didn't miss
his head, did he?
He looked worried. Really? He was like
footage,
So there's quite a few refereeing decisions we need to talk about and get in the game.
And so here's the first one.
I I don't understand the process of the rules, because that one was square around his head, like direct
going
contact.
down
No,
in a tackle.
There's a Matt Shaw article that he's written,
right,
and it's got the process that there's referees of. I can't remember it, but it's quite.
That sounded really useful then, Chris.
It is. I'm not directing you to Matt Shaw's thing.
You should have just made it up like Reece did with the medical stuff and just said, Matt Shaw said this. Everyone had been nodding. Yes, he did.
It's like a flow chart.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting, and it's sort of.
But what I was wondering what the mitigation was in that circumstance, because I didn't feel like that Brodie Croft was going down, or
what in that tackle?
Yeah,
I thought it were going down.
So maybe that was the mitigation. Maybe that's why it's a yellow.
It went in a tackle, and then
he didn't intend to smack him round chops. I think that's what it was. So it kind of. But then you could say that's reckless, isn't it?
Yeah, he didn't miss.
Yeah.
Let's put it that
Certainly
way.
didn't miss.
He didn't miss.
You agree, Andrew?
Personally, I thought he should have been sent off. But then, having watched all 6 Super League games over the weekend, there are a lot of contentious decisions, and it'll be very interesting to see when the MRP meets tomorrow to see what comes out of it. I thought the Momorowski simping was a farce, and I thought, Ryan Braley was a very, very lucky boy not to see him. I'd only got 10 minutes in the bin. But yeah, some questionable refereeing decisions on day one of the new season.
You only spoke about Briley's yellow. What do you make of Croft's performance, Reece?
Oh, Cross performance. Quiet. I think it was quiet.
Do you think, like Andrew said, and a few others have said, Salford know him so well? Did you believe that their game plan nullified?
Yeah, but Salford's game plan all day was to slow us down, frustrate us, and I thought Salford played that game plan to an absolute T, to be honest. But I think knowing the player does make a massive difference, and knowing how he plays. So I think that probably did hinder Croft in his first game, but equally as well, it is just the first game. Yeah. It will take time for these combinations to come through and to flourish. Was I expecting more? A little bit. Am I worried that he didn't? Not at all.
No, I thought if that was the plan, which obviously Salford to nullify him, I thought he'd overcome that. I just thought he had a quiet game. 1 or 2 decent touches. I wasn't worried about him. I didn't think his performance hindered us.
I don't think he played badly
in any way.
I just don't think he just didn't stand out. One thing I will say about him is he can tackle.
Yeah, he can.
Yes.
He puts some good shots in, and he's not a big bloke, but he does tackle. So I think that if we're going to put a single positive on Cross' performance on Friday night, it would have been his defence.
It could have also. I don't know. It could have also been Rowan's game plan.
Yeah.
To keep him quiet because they're going to target you.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to put everything through Brodie Croft, they're going to be hunting for him.
Yeah.
So it might have been a case of
take it elsewhere,
keep him out at firing line.
Yeah.
Because it didn't go to him a lot, did it?
No, it didn't.
So maybe it was. I don't know.
A game plan.
Yeah.
That's
keep it away from Croft because they're going to be expecting
it to go to Croft.
Yeah.
We mentioned Momorowski there, good old Mommy. Shall we start with the tackle?
It's not a yellow card, and this is where I'm struggling to understand the interpretation of the rules. Because if that's a yellow, then surely Briley's is a red.
Yeah.
Because my question to myself or to everyone that stood around me,
you talk to yourself?
All the time. I always win.
That's why he's got a black eye.
Did he put the Salford player in danger?
No.
No.
Did he put him on his ass? Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Was it a wonderful tackle? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not sure at what point that player got put in danger by what Momorowski did. Yes, there was a shoulder in there. The left arm looked like it was beginning to wrap and come round. He didn't hit him in the head. He hit him square on in the chest.
The ref gave a...
Yeah, he did.
He gave a knock on.
It
was only because he stayed down and he was doing it all game.
And then we had
Aitken.
Yeah.
And then we had the farce of looking at it for 10 minutes.
Yeah, they looked at it 29 times.
Which I know last year...
Which is a world record.
Fact, is it? Is that a fact?
Notice how I just finished, Reece, you know? Very assertive. That's a world record. Again, people are nodding along. Yeah, that's true.
But last year I got a bit annoyed at Rowan moaning in post-match press conferences about the play of the ball and all that sort of stuff, but I thought he was absolutely bang on in post-match because that was stupid. Like how long it took. If it's not clear and obvious, then it's not clear and obvious.
Yeah.
Move on.
What did you make of the Momorowski tackle, Andrew?
I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. The referee, was it Aaron Moore on Friday night?
Yeah, it was Aaron, yeah.
Yeah. I thought he had a poor game on the whole. I didn't see anything wrong with it, and he must have got something upstairs in his headset saying, you need to look at this. And as you both rightly said, yeah, you don't need to look at this. If there's no conclusive evidence and you can't see a reason, it's not a sin bin. And for me, I thought it was very unlucky to be sin binned. Just out of interest, what's a green card these days? What does that entail?
It's is it 2 or 3 minutes off?
2 or 3 minutes.
But,
he'd gone down for an injury to stop the game.
What was annoying? Why did he let him stay down for 10 minutes?
Yeah,
and then he should have got the green card out straight away because it was hilarious. He was rubbing his head, his neck, his knee.
He
that was aching as well.
He did head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
He did.
He literally did that all the way through.
That's when I swore. And there were loads of kids around me where I was sat and I'm like, sorry, get him off the field.
But yeah, I thought Eddie, he was very unlucky to be sin binned. I don't think there was much in it. And what worries me is the way the game might be perceived by officials. Having watched the games this week, I will allude to the Casper Tigers one. He got sent off yesterday, which I thought was very lucky for. Joe Etterman probably should have been sent off, which I thought was worse. But it's interesting. You always get these flurry of decisions at the start of the season.
Yes.
And then the rules tend to sort of even themselves out a little bit. Be very interesting to see how Phil Bentham does in his new role at the RFL.
Welcome to the job, Phil.
No pressure.
Welcome to the job indeed.
He's walking into tomorrow.
I'm going to apologise to Chris because I'm not meant to moan about IMG stuff, but the video, TMO, the video ref, that having 17 cameras on all at once.
Don't need it.
That bit of the game wasn't broken. It was all quite clear, just having one angle on the telly.
They'll streamline that.
That'll stop.
Yeah,
I think.
Was that the same on the TV? When it was like at one point.
Yeah, but it was out of sync as well.
Yeah, it was.
So,
it was horrendous.
I will say, in mitigation for everyone, it's new for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's all right having a go at refs, but I bet they're sort of thinking, shit, should I be sending him off or stuff? And then video ref will be, it's new to them because it's a new system.
Yeah.
Everyone just needs to calm down.
It'll be fine. It'll all be streamlined. Yeah, we did talk about that. So that's Paul Momorowski's tackle. Andrew, what did you make of his performance? Another Leeds player
steady away. Obviously had a hand in the try for Ash's second. Considering he's only been back in the country a week since being away for Dono's testimonial.
Yeah,
will get better. Like Crawley, Croft and Frawley will get better. Miller will get better. They'll all get better. But for a first performance, yeah.
An incredibly good-looking man.
No comment.
Do you agree with that, Reese?
This is Eddie's usual angle on a new player. Would I date that man? Do I find him attractive?
Well, I was just before we came up to the studio to record, I watched the highlights again of the game, and I was watching the tackle, let's call it, and I was saying to Harriet, "Do you think he's really good looking?" And she said, "No."
Did she not say, "Is there something you need to tell me?"
and so good looking. Kind of close to Mick, I think. Anyone?
Maybe it should be a new chart that new
more stats. Yeah. Flirt of the week.
Well, we're doing Scott ratings out of 10. We might as well just do it. There we go.
10.
New content idea: Tinder for rhinos, and we'll just do that instead. Would you swipe right or swipe left? There we go.
Swipe right.
We've got cameras now. We'll do that. I'm sure they'll love that.
I will say, looks apart, he's a hell of a player.
He is.
I didn't think he stood out on.
I didn't expect it.
Friday.
He'd only been back 5 days.
He's not going to, is he? And
nothing
after
in his
week.
legs.
But he probably had the most difficult challenge of the day, which was looking after he should not be named, because that player played really, really well, and that was a difficult night to have to deal with him. We'll see more of him.
He's the exact opposite of Nene McDonald.
Yeah, he is.
He's my type of player. He's got a real good rugby brain on him. Yeah. Clever player. He'll make the. I know he dropped a ball near the end, didn't he? But he'll tend to make the correct decision.
You've got Harry for the flair. He is a solid, just an all round.
He's big as well, isn't he?
He's big, and he was quite vocal as well.
That's what Rowan said about him. He said he will lead we've got quite a few leaders, haven't we?
I think we have now, yeah. And I think we'll come on to another new signing and another potential lead in Matt Frawley. My heart, again, did go into my mouth when he missed touch.
Oh, no.
With his first kick, yes.
With his first kick for Leeds Rhinos.
I just put my head in my hands and went, oh, God.
Oh, no.
I was like, Aga, we've just been telling everyone that he's going to make everyone eat their words, and the first thing he fucking does
I
is
just
not
looked
make
at my
touch.
mate and he looked at me and we both just went, okay, let's... it's early days.
He didn't do it again, did he? He didn't do it again.
And how do you think it went, Andrew? What did you think of Matt Frawley?
Yeah,
Nice
apart
haircut.
from the first misdemeanor with a penalty, he failed to find touch. That again, it'll take time with Croft. The combinations will take time. It's a brand new backline with the centres as well, so with Morosky and Newman and Lockley Miller as well. So yeah, steady away, and I think we'll see more of Croft and Frawley over the next few weeks.
Agree with that, Reece?
Yeah, just steady. What was better is that his kicking is so much better than we've had in recent years.
Yes.
I mean, I thought Sneed kicked really, really well, but I didn't think Frawley was that far behind him. But again, didn't do anything wrong other than not making touch that time, and didn't also really set the world alight, but a steady performance. And again, someone that was quite strong defensively, I thought, again.
Yeah, I nearly got into an argument on X, Twitter, whatever, with a Hull FC fan who said that Frawley was absolutely dire.
Oh,
I think so.
Well, they haven't got a halfback.
They don't have one.
They haven't got a team.
Exactly.
They've got more cards than points, so they can't bloody talk, can they?
He poked his nose through the line a couple of times as well, did Frawley?
He did. He took the line on. From memory, it felt like he took the line on more than Croft did almost.
He did.
Yeah, agree with that.
As a first game for these players, I think we've covered them all now.
Gudemond, you haven't talked about it yet.
Gudemond as well. Should we expect any for that first game? Are we looking at these players and going, we should have seen more? Because I'm not. Particularly in like Momorovsky's case, where
Momorovsky not so because of his
who were you expecting more from, Reece?
Honestly, Croft, I would have wanted to see a bit more from, but that, I think that's because of how good a player he is. It'd be nice to see him. My dream scenario was that Andy Ackers would have made a break from dummy half and he passed it onside to Croft. That was like the dream that I was going on in my head from that perspective. And, Andy had a steady night. He didn't put much wrong, but again, didn't set the world alight. But his distribution from 9 is brilliant. Like, his passing is so good. But yeah, I think I would have wanted maybe just a moment from Croft to say, yeah, he is that
this
good.
Is him. Yeah.
But again, he didn't do too much wrong. So I don't think we need to be worried just yet.
Do you agree with that, Andrew?
Yeah, it'll take time. It's a brand new team. We'll have the friendly games, not have the full squad out for another in friendlies, and it'll take time. But as I keep alluding to, if you rewind back 12 months and we've just been absolutely hammered by Warrington, it's a completely different kettle of fish, and we're going into the whole KR game in confidence. It won't be an easy game at Craven Park, but yeah, very, very pleased with the signings, and lots to look forward to in the coming months.
We saw some players and combos that will really click this year, and they will come to fruition. It'll just take time. Something new for the podcast now. Statman Reece put together a form, which was on X, so go follow him at Statman Reece. It's player ratings. Reece, take us through the player ratings.
Yeah, so basically each week I'll be releasing the squad out, rating each player out of 0 to 10. We'll keep those scores throughout the season, so it will form a bit more of a score about how these players have scored or how these players have played over the season, how we think people have played.
Are we still going to do the Lot Pod Awards?
Yes, because we'll do a Man of Steel. We'll do the Man of Steel type voting still, but this will continue throughout the season. Excellent. So that we can track and see how things are going. But I think I always find it interesting because people always complain at Match Walls and Peter Smith's ratings out of 10. So it gives
why does that annoy people?
I don't
just it's someone's
it's opinion, isn't it? So I'm now giving everyone the opportunity to put.
Pete Smith's are usually all 6s.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't
just so BBC.
He doesn't put any thought into it.
Just
6.
So this gives everyone the opportunity to make their own.
There
ratings.
we go, yeah, and vote.
So we'll start in the squad as it's listed. So fullback Lockie Miller or Lachlan Miller, 6.9.
Would you agree with that, Andrew?
I gave him a 7 on the form, so yes.
Yeah, I agree, 7.
Lewis Roberts was 5.4.
4 for me.
He was the lowest on the night, I believe, for the scores. Yes, he was. So there's that. Harry Newman, 6.4.
Probably agree with that, yeah.
Momorovsky, 5.9.
Disagree with that. Probably reflected in the sin bidding, because people could have seen that either way.
Yeah.
You know, some people would have looked at it and gone, and like we mentioned off air, non-Leeds fans.
Yeah, there could be non-Leeds fans voting in it, but
predominantly will be Leeds fans.
I have tried to get rid of if someone's put zeros for every player, which they haven't. What's some weird zeros? Someone gave Lucky Miller a 0. I'm like, what?
I've not been funny, but there's some Leeds fans that give everyone 0.
Yeah, they would do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if everyone gives everyone 6, it's Peter Smith.
Yeah. Someone who didn't get 6 was Ash Hanley. He got 8.3.
I think I voted him a 9.
I gave him a 9.
I gave him a 9.
I didn't even fill it in. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks, producer Chris. I know.
Producer Chris.
Brodie Croft got a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
agree with that.
Matt Frawley, 6.4.
Again, agree.
Again.
Aledzki, 7.1.
Higher, more than that. 8.
Ackers, 6.5.
Probably
7
for me, yeah, 7.
Dono, 5.7.
6.
Gudamon got a 6.4.
6.
Reece Martin and Cam Smith both getting 7.2.
But Cammy had a better game than
Reece. I think I get Cammy at 8.
Reece and Cammy, the fact they're both the same score is exactly how I feel about them as players.
Yeah.
They're consistently just very good players, and like last year, the player of the year was between those two players. And they're just consistently good week in, week out. And the fact they've got the same score,
again,
the same positive score just makes
on the same podcast.
Just makes me think it's right.
I was speaking to Reece before we started, and
Reece Martin. Chris Martin.
Oh, yeah, I'm name dropping. No, our Reece.
Oh, him.
Yeah. And he's close to my man at match. In fact, I think I said I would have given him it.
Got there yet, Chris? It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, it's just because you mentioned him. All right, I'll cut.
You'll find out later in the pod.
That was just a teaser. Come on.
Sorry. Moving on. Sangare got 6.
Too high for me.
Sam Masone, 8.1.
Yes.
James Bentley, 6. That's probably because he went back 10 metres on his first carry.
Yes, agree with that.
And for his, he was at fault for the Salford try.
Yeah, he jumped
shooting
out
the line.
Yeah.
It was a really bad read.
He grew into the game a bit, but like when his first contact, he ran the ball in and he got put back about 10, 15
And I'm
metres.
loving his headband.
Yeah.
I'm loving that.
Very James Bentley, isn't it?
There's no wrong with his head.
No, there's not wrong with it. I'm loving the headband. I hope that continues, James.
Jared got 6.4.
9.9 for me.
And then Rowan got 6.3.
Really?
Yeah. So,
I give Rowan a 7.
Yeah, 8.
So I suppose when we're asking people to score Rowan, you're asking him to score his team selection, his interchanges,
what you've
his
seen,
what you've seen as a team. So 6.3. Considering we won the first round, I'm like, come on, guys, be a bit kinder.
Yeah,
so,
but he's not loved, is he, by about 50? Everyone's 50.
Yeah, they don't.
on him.
Not everyone thinks like Eddie, do they? But so Miller wins the battle for best signing.
So what did he get?
6.9.
6.9.
So he was the highest new signing.
It's low for me, that.
Hanley,
I agree.
Hanley was the top with 8.3. Lasone in second with 8.1, and then Reece and Cammy with 7.2.
So essentially, the listeners, let's call them, vote Ash Hanley man of the match. Do you agree with that, Andrew?
All right, I see what I
Yes.
now.
Yeah, I know Sambo got the Sky man of the match for his 2 tries and possibly one of the tries of the season, one of the best tries I've seen Headingley since Paul Sterling went the length of Phileas Adelaide Rams way back when in '97. Ash Hanley is my lot pod man of the match.
Reece, who's your man of the match?
You need to mention who our man of the match is sponsored by as well.
Oh, yeah. Sponsored. Who is it sponsored by?
It's sponsored by Fast Signs, our new sponsor. So my nomination for the Fast Signs man of the match.
Nice.
Do you hear that, Andy?
What was that?
No, not you,
Very
Andy.
good. Very good.
Another Andy.
I'm deciding between 2 people. Ash is one, and I think Reece Martin deserves a shout in this.
Really?
And I feel like I've stole Chris's point, but I'm doing it anyway.
my own fault.
After we
innit?
told Chris,
he didn't miss a
put a
kick.
pin in it.
Didn't miss a kick.
He never does.
Including two conversions from the sideline.
Yeah.
You know, you see, that's really important. Those points that add up.
Yeah.
His assist for the Hanley try and just generally just being Reece Martin. But it was his birthday, so it's Ash Hanley.
Chris,
Well,
wonder who's gonna go with Chris Martin.
Chris Martin. Oh yeah, I just think the problem Reece has got, not our Reece.
I've got a lot of problems.
Well, exactly, but is that he's so consistent. He doesn't stand.
No,
He nailed 5 goals, and a few of them were from touchline, and then that kick to put Ash.
but Ashen.
The reason I think he might be my man at match is he doesn't play. We probably don't win.
It's a good point.
It's just like Salford. If Snead didn't play, they probably wouldn't have scored.
No, yeah.
It was that important. His consistency is where people don't rate him because he's that consistent. You just expect it.
Yeah.
So
Paradise to have a player like that.
Oh yeah.
A bit like I've
Those
said
that
this
know
before.
Coldplay
But,
songs will get that pun, by the way.
yeah, I'll get that.
Yeah.
I've said it before, but he's a bit like Kev.
Yeah.
I had
Just
this
so good,
I
so
had this
consistent. It's
question.
boring. Not boring. It blends in
I had this question
because you
with
get
my
so
dad.
used to it.
Do you think he's as consistent, maybe potentially more consistent than Kev?
Kicking.
Yeah, goal kicking.
Yeah. Well, you're a stats. We've got 2 stats man here. We should be able to find that out.
I haven't got Kevin's conversion rates on me.
Not a
But
percentage.
scrambling around
Andrew might have Kev's percentage.
oh, maybe after when we go back on.
Kevin Sinfield, when we won the Super League in 2012, he didn't miss a kick in the playoffs, which is quite incredible to do that.
Well, that Warrington away, yeah.
That game was
Yeah,
magnificent.
but Martin's got the record for the
It has.
most successful kicks, hasn't he?
It's difficult because obviously Cine was probably the
Cine
greatest
did it
ever
for
captain in
years,
Granite's
though,
history,
Kev, didn't he?
or Leeds rugby's
Didn't he?
history. It's a very difficult one to. For me, it's still Sinfield because what he did with Leeds and being part of the golden generation, winning trophy after trophy after trophy. He got the world's best player in 2012 as well, which I think riled a few people. Yeah. So as good as Reece, and I love Reece Martin to bits, just cynic for me for what he's done.
It's a luxury to have a player that can do that. I mean, look at KR and their situation. I mean, if anyone's not seen Hickey's attempt at a penalty,
a better goal kicker.
I was going to mention that after. But
yeah, well, we can come back to that. But you know, it is a luxury to have someone that accurate at kicking.
As Eddie said, it's just boring.
Yeah.
I don't mind it being boring. Though. It can be boring as well.
Exactly. I mean that's the highest
so good.
praise.
Yeah, it's so good.
But
it was become boring.
It was 9 out of 10 on Friday. Well, he didn't do anything wrong, did he?
No.
Whatsoever.
Well, like you say, I think people don't give him the 8 or 9s out of 10s because
blends in.
An 8 or 9 for Reece Martin is everyone's normal rating.
It's the consistency.
Is Peter Smith 6?
Yeah.
Sorry,
if Reece Martin gets a 7,
does Pete listen to this?
I hope not.
We'll find out.
But yeah, you haven't given any nomination yet, have you?
Does he have to?
Was Martin your nomination?
Yeah, I think so. I was going to say Miller just because I enjoyed watching him, but I've changed it and looking at it. I've watched the game back twice because I'm that sad. I liked I don't think we'd have won without Martin.
Well,
that's why I'm giving him it.
I'm going to have to say Reece Martin now, otherwise we've got a stalemate.
Well, no, you're the host, so you can make the decision on who gets the Fast Signs man of the match.
Reece Martin, you are
player of the match. I think it should be now.
Yes,
player of the match. Oh, sorry, new word.
Fast Signs player of the match, Reece Martin. Any other business? Chris Martin. Any other business before we wrap this pod up, gentlemen?
Well,
good.
We are going on to our next section, so it's wrapping up this part of the.
Yes.
We've got a new section coming up, which I can't remember what it's called.
It's not got a name.
It's not got a name yet.
Nameless.
It's got no content either.
So we'll call it. We'll temporarily call it Chris's Curiosity Corner. But no,
I'm glad you said that.
I think the one thing I want to mention is the build up to the game. I really enjoyed Enter Sandman, by the way. I thought
no.
Oh no, do you not like Enter Sandman?
I don't like that neither.
I
but
hate
everyone,
Metallica.
I don't like Metallica.
Oh
neither.
God, I hate Metallica.
I love the fact that was
someone
on beforehand.
said sorry, but someone said, I don't know if it was in the WhatsApp community or on X, but someone said they even missed the cues.
They did
in that song. You know, at the perfect time to come out.
Yeah, they did.
They kept missing them.
Yeah,
they kept missing the build-up.
So that song, Enter Sandman, they use it for Virginia Tech in the college football, and it's insane for college sport. But they come out at the right time on the song, and it's amazing.
They did. I can't remember. I think it might have been the last game of last year, and they did like a blue and yellow firework thing.
Yeah.
I think it was Castleford.
Yeah,
it would have been like a home game,
and it had some ethereal music, and I thought, that's amazing.
That's it.
I were hoping to do that last night.
Yeah.
On Friday, sorry. And then
lots of fire.
Metallica started blaring out. I'm like,
no, I hate Metallica.
Oh, I really liked it.
It's not particularly Metallica. I don't mind rock music. I like the more ethereal, like atmospheric music. Maybe they ask the players what's going to G you up. But if they're going to do it, come out at right time.
Yeah, time it right.
My point was, I thought the general production in terms of the build-up to the game, it felt different, whether people think it was better or not than we've had previous years. And it felt different. And it felt bigger.
Leeds are the perfect club to embrace IMG.
It's got the stadium to do it.
They're
so
professional, aren't they?
We are the best. What did you make of it, Andrew?
I think what IMG have done by putting obviously all the games on TV, I think is a massive plus point, because you can watch all the games. Also, focused on the Rhinos game on Friday night, but the whole build up to the season has felt different. And I think Sky, IMG, I thought even the BBC coverage, so Tanya Arnold, Kevin Brown, and Ashton Golden were really good as well. And I just think the whole weekend has been a positive, bar the refereeing, which is always going to be a talking point. But yeah, it felt different. It feels good. It feels positive, and it's great to have Super League back.
What did you think of the BBC coverage?
I watched it on Sky. I turned it over.
Not seen it yet. I've not seen it yet.
I know Robbie as well, but
name drop.
I don't know him that well, but I just don't think he would. It was John Wells on the other side, and I really like John Wells, so I just switched over for that.
Stick to what you know.
I don't know. Tanya Arnold was good, but it was absolutely pissing it down, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
All good.
Happy?
Yep.
Very happy. Bring on Hull KR.
Yes, bring on Hull KR. We will be back to review the Hull KR game. We're also going to be back with a midweek pod, a shorter version where we'll round up the women's game, the academy side, PDRL, etc., etc. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for joining us, Andrew. Thanks to Chris. Thanks to Reese. And we'll see you all next time. Take care. Wait a minute. Hang on. We forgot something.
Professional as ever.
I'm sat right next to you.
Completely forgot.
I even just introduced it about 5 minutes ago. Or
but then I decided to pull the plug on it.
Yeah.
But we just discussed and thought we will actually do this section, which is called Chris's Question Corner. What did you call it on the pod?
This is the same pod. Chris's Curiosity Corner thing.
There you go.
It's going to probably change each week because we haven't decided on it yet, but it is just us three, so we need to say thank you to Andy.
Yes.
For coming on.
Always, Andy.
But Chris, what are we doing?
Producer Chris.
When we came down here and we were discussing the future of the pod, I think were I drunk?
I think so.
Anyway, I've put myself.
That's why you let us in and got this studio.
I've put myself up for a section. I've lost my sponsorship.
Chris's Corner.
This is ACD.
I can't sponsor my own corner.
Brought by ACD&B. It's
All
perfect.
Right. Maybe we should think of a name with AC. Anyway.
leave that to the creative designer.
Yeah.
Genius.
So I put myself up for this, totally forgot that I had.
And then it sponsored it.
Then Reece says, what are
you
going to do for your section? I'm like, what do you want to call it?
I even sent you a chat GPT list of all these names.
We're going to go through them.
Yeah, I think
we'll
have to look through them.
So anyway, what I thought is that I want this to be erudite, irreverent, funny, insightful, and I'm basically just going to pose a question to you two guys, and then see what your answer is.
Big words at the beginning of that, wasn't there?
Yeah, well,
Do you hear all them, Cameron?
Is it erudite? Oh, Christ.
I'm trying to pad it out.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, what I'm saying is, so this week I've got absolutely nothing.
Good start.
So, I did have a few ideas, but they were a bit serious. So,
Zach Hardacre.
yeah, so we decided not to go there.
No, we won't go there.
Because it would have ended up with a 30-minute talk from Reese on HR.
Yeah, they HR him to death.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only because I was going to ask you.
Would you sack him?
Can you sack him?
Yeah.
Anyway, we've not gone there.
We almost did then.
Yeah. Anyway, and then I was going to do something about the game's gone.
Yes.
Where has it gone?
It's gone somewhere.
Yeah, and
Bermuda.
How come it's going to be back next week?
Yeah.
Anyway.
And every game shown.
Then I thought that was crap, so I'm not going to do that. So basically, we've had the new season. It's totally different to any other season we've had. We've had all the games.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you've watched them all. I mean, I'm fortunate that my wife's away at the moment, so I got to watch them. Well, as in fortunate that I could watch the games.
Yes.
Not fortunate that my wife's away. She doesn't listen. You're
She
all
doesn't
right.
listen.
Oh, okay.
Keep digging then.
So I got to watch them all, but I just wondered what your guys' highlight or low light or funny thing from the games that you've watched.
Non-Leeds Rhinos.
No, it can't be Leeds Rhinos, just the game in general. So the opening round, new era, IMG, all games on TV, good or bad, what have you made of it?
I think it's been really positive. I think this round of Super League has felt bigger than ever to me. Full coverage on the BBC, on Sky, the streaming platform. Newer, like just the uniqueness of hearing Dave Woods on Sky for me was just.
And Mark Wilson's great, isn't it?
And Mark Wilson.
I know we don't want to talk about Leeds, but the commentary for the Ash Hanley's try.
Ash Hanley try.
Just makes that try better, I think.
If that's what's
marketable.
His face, who I've completely forgot. Bill Arthur.
He's not there, is he?
Is he not there anymore now?
No. I mean, I've spoken to you on this on text, and I'm like, I'm always amazed that people place so much
into the commentary.
Yeah. But then thinking about it, I think I agree with Reese that the commentary can make it, but it doesn't detract from it for me. I just
think when we're now in an era where we've got all these clips we want to market the sport best. When you've got a try like Hanley's and you've got someone like the prime example of this was the grand final last year when they had Channel 4 doing the grand final.
Yeah,
Mark Wilson's coverage of the winning try versus what Sky did was completely different.
And fair play to Sky, they've gone out and got them, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
And
putting up all the production costs.
The social media, the presence is off the scale.
It's looking clean and crisp, isn't it?
BBC
it's on the main page on BBC.
Yeah, but they was tweeting, Xing, whatever it is. Bits more than Sky, but they were all over it with the BBC, and it's had good audiences, I think. BBC.
Yeah, well, they said
more than Channel 4 ever got.
Yeah, was it
any game
420,000, wasn't it? I think they said on BBC figures, and
2.9% share.
Yeah, 2.9%.
Do you think that's the time slot? Because Channel 4 showed games at 12:30 on a Saturday.
5:30. There's always going to be a clash with there's always going to be a clash with the Premier League, isn't there?
But we're never ever going to. No sport in the world.
We're not going to compete with that. But I think BBC 2 5:30 it's a good time.
I think 5:30 on a Saturday is the
I just hope that they don't do the two games at the same time again.
Yeah.
Although I didn't mind it actually because I watched the first half of Castleford and I thought, well, we're just going to trounce them.
So
then I went and watched.
And they did.
Yeah. So I watched the Catalan game from the beginning because I'd recorded it. I'm going to get in so much trouble when. That's bad.
He got 16 games to
I've not even watched any of the NRL stuff, which I usually would because I'm a bit rugbyed out now. But it's amazing.
Yeah, and the whole derby was the perfect game to. I mean, Hull FC was shite, terrible. Well, and so if you want something negative, Hull FC, Christ alive, they were awful.
That game was my highlight of the whole weekend. It was shite, but Hull FC was so bad.
They were.
But that derby is the best. I think is the best game to open on because I think it's the best derby in the Super
just
League.
Been a better game.
But the problem was the game wasn't as good.
It doesn't. People over worry about that. It felt like a really good occasion, didn't it?
Yeah, the crowd was full. Someone turns on Sky and sees Rugby League for the first time and see a sold out stadium, derby. Fireworks, all the build-up that they did, they'd be interested, and then they'd see Peter Hickey missing a kick from in front of the post.
Well, that is my favourite thing of the whole weekend.
Thing of the weekend.
And I was saying to Reece, they got a thing and I was watching it, and I'm like, oh, he's going to kick that. So I went. I don't know whether I went to the toilet or whatever, and then came back and
the score was the same.
Yeah, and Twitter were like blowing up. And I'm like, I need to rewind this, and I just kept rewinding it. I'm like, I don't even know how he's done that.
No.
It was glorious.
How have they not got a kicker?
Well, everyone's saying, oh, we're going to struggle against Hull KR. They've got no managing halfback.
Yeah.
They haven't got a kicker. Anyway,
that's the preview. That's
sorry.
That's the preview.
And you're not meant to be talking. It's meant to be us talking anyway. You're the one that's meant to be asking questions.
You mentioned
listen, this is my
this is his corner.
I'm sponsoring it.
You mentioned there about the Hull derby, and it's a big game, which it is, and about the spectacle of whether it's a shite game affects. But I think there's moments that can put, good or bad, put the game into the spotlight. So the red card, was it Pele?
I've never.
I loved that whole game.
I've never seen someone actually put their arm that far back into a position before.
That clip.
Did you see how far his arm went back? Have you seen the still of it? Like, he's nearly dislocated his own shoulder from putting his arm back. It's gone
so viral that whether it's for the right or wrong reasons, even when it's a shite game, which it was, you get a clip like that. Like we're clip mad.
It's my favourite game at round.
Blown up and gone completely.
It was a strange game, wasn't it?
Why did he do it when
he made a great hit?
He made the perfect hit on Mincelli, and I was like, wow. And then as he's going down, he's going, you know what, you bastard? Winds his arm up and.
Just brilliant. And if you watch the fracas after, he goes
for another one.
He goes again.
But he hits Liggy Sow. He hits his own player. So he's going to get 5 weeks for the swinging arm. He's probably going to get another 5 weeks of punching his own player. That might be mitigation, to be fair. They might appeal it on that. No, he hit his own player. It's fine. It's fine.
But you're dead right. Rugby league fans will watch and go, that were a dire game. But it was so entertaining.
It was.
The neutrals are like stuff like, because there were enough skill in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was.
And people probably wouldn't, if you're watching that for the first time, you wouldn't watch Hull and go, they were dire. If you're kind of neutral, you'd probably just think, okay, we're better.
Yeah.
And
Hull had a man sent off.
And saying that, if you're new to the game, you probably think that you're meant to kick wide to the goal.
Yeah, you're meant to kick to the corner instead of over the bloody post.
He's kicking to the corner. He's kicking for territory.
Yeah, it was great.
Has that not come up in training? Because he didn't seem to kick that bag in the pre-season.
Yeah, but he's kicked 3 goals in his entire career.
Yeah, Manly.
He won a competition, didn't he? Once Abdul left, they said, right, we need a new goal kicker, and he was the winner.
I thought, what was the guy with the big long ponytail?
No. What?
Been into a bit of trouble back in Australia.
KR?
No, for Hull FC.
Okafor.
He looked like he had won a competition to play.
He was shocking. Okundor.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
He was. Car crash first round. But we're all.
So yeah, what
positive?
Just one moment. What was your?
Probably the Pele red card. I thought the ridiculous of it. The fact it's Hull derby. It was early in the game, first half, wasn't it? 20 minutes.
It was about 2 minutes before half.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was in the it was sub 12.
And the fact it went viral, which I feel always helps for right or wrong reasons. If it goes viral in rugby league, we're happy.
When was Matty Parcella grub anyway?
That was bad, wasn't it?
That was
I don't remember him being like that. Do you?
I was a big fan. Matty Parcella was, but I thought.
I think they both deserved red.
Yeah.
Well, I think they deserve the same punishment. I don't know why I went so high pitched then.
It is Curiosity Corner.
Yeah.
But that's your curious.
He just wrapped his arm round his head, didn't he? And then, but the guy's trying to get. I can't remember who it was now. Who wore it? Liggy Sow, wasn't it?
Liggy Sow.
He's trying to get 3 people off him, including a player that's just wrapped his arm round his head. I don't think he intentionally means to knee him, but
I'm not so sure he did look at him. I think if you're going to fling your knees around in a tackle like that,
yeah.
I think
it was definitely a reaction to the crusher.
There's not many other moments from the other games that stand out that are as good as about half the things that
Oh,
happened
they
in that
hit.
FC.
No, there is.
There's the Tariq Sims hit.
Yeah, they hit on Josh.
Oh, yeah.
My God, it turned
right into his
him
ribs.
in two, didn't
You
it?
see, all this hoo-ha about games gone soft.
What a hit
Not if you
that
tackle properly.
Yeah, like there's still a place in the game for a big hit. It was
that's one of the cleanest
perfect.
hits I've seen in years.
Did you hear the French commentary?
Yeah, you have heard it. Yeah, but I mean, Williams's ribs must still be quite sore after that.
Oh, and the fact that as they were both like getting up from the tackle, he were quite clearly giving Tariq Sims were giving Williams absolute pelters, made it all the sweeter. That's my positive, that hit, and my negative is
It doesn't have to be a positive, negative. Just a good.
He doesn't know what it is. He doesn't know what it is.
We don't know what it is.
No.
We didn't even know we're coming on pod.
Yeah.
I'm not even meant to be. I was just going to let you in and get on.
Press play, press record, off we go. Well, we'll do this every week then, but maybe slightly.
Yeah,
better.
just going to be conversational, a bit of a laugh at the end of the podcast to move away from the seriousness of a Rhinos review.
I will remember that I've got to do it the next time.
We'll remember and we'll put it into
it'll be so good.
There'll be a jingle, Josh.
What?
We'll get
Jingle
it
Josh
sorted.
will put on ACB and I was thinking, I've forgotten ever since Fast Sign.
God,
I've forgotten.
it didn't take a long to replace him.
I'm actually dead to him now.
Yeah,
Huh?
you are. Replaced.
ACDMB.
Right, cheers, guys.
Right, thank you very much. We will be back to review the Hull KR.
No, we won't. We're gonna do the weekly the midweek pod.
Listen, everyone's rusty. It's first round.
Yeah,
the midweek pod.
All excited.
Although I don't think
We're
there's
all
been any other
drunk.
results this weekend for the Rhinos.
We're all
too,
naked.
So, again, there's no lights.
We'll be back
To preview the KR game midweek,
midweek, and
pending
then
the
review
match
it.
review panel and injuries.
Yes, we'll see you then.
We think.